Hey my Immortal Nerds, it's Tempest Time. Everyone is testing out the new class and I was curious as well. But to check out what this new fellow is able to do, we need the new essences. Trial of the Hordes and open world farm like collecting monster essences or clan tower farm or terror rifts is one of the biggest sources to get you ASAP to the new stuff. I'll show you today how to beat your opponents in the Hordes mode quickly to get your legendary choice box and how to farm open world very effectively. Let's go! The Tempest class is quite cool in my opinion. It comes with many different playstyles. If you are still missing some key pieces, the Trial of the Horde mode gets you to that essences quickly. So check it out, just for climbing the ranks you get already 3 legendary boxes. And starting from gold 1 you have a free of choice box that contains an essence you don't have yet. So after that you even can get 2 additional boxes, and when the event gets finished you get another drop with another choice box and some mystery loot boxes. And while doing the event, you get an additional reward of 3 mystery boxes as well that you can get very early. So overall you can get to a minimum of 11 legendary boxes, with 2 of them containing missing essences you really need and want to have to finish some of your favorite builds. You can get all of that easily with this build. So let's look at the skills first. We start with the Wind Edge. Wind Edge in this case very nice because it teleports us to the next enemy, and this is really cool for this game mode. Then Crosswinds, very heavy damage dealing skill. We go further to the Breaker, it's a short teleport. Then the Rolling Surf, which gives us mobility while we keep attacking, and the Vortex. Vortex is a key piece for this build. We start with the chest. For that we use overflow. Overflow is a crazy thing. It makes our vortex to push those geysers that just knock up every enemy around us in a large circle around us. So it's a very heavy AoE damage attack that really hits everything around us. We combine it here with the next key piece for this build, the flaring lighthouse. It makes our breaker going into a dash like it normally is, but it gives us a shield. So that shield is essential to survive the Hordes mode. Those 2 pieces are key part for this build. We boost our vortex then again with the shoal. I think it's increase of damage of 50%, well, because we shatter the armor of the enemy, so every damage is increased by 50%. And this is just for the first essence level, so it will go up even more, I think to 40% or something when you climb the essence levels. And then we take the glory of Ksathra, I think, crazy names, honestly. Now we get an additional 50% attack speed while we use our vortex for our primary attack speed. So those 2 boost the damage we deal with the vortex, but in addition, when you awaken them, you can get a 20% cooldown reduction on that skill to make it available all of the time, which is very effective and good for this build to have a permanent damage. What is important here with this vortex? You have a large area of effect. You hit a lot of enemies with a single attack, and now we want to boost that attack, so we need dots. Torment and Viper are 2 key pieces, 2 key gems for this build. Put them in there and you will instantly kill anything around you that is not an elite mob. And this is the what's so lovely about this build. It's just killing everything around you. The Roiling Consequence has a nice dot as well, and in addition it has a crit, so very preferable for this build as well. And if you don't have the essence level yet and don't have that much beneficial effect, take a Pebbles in here. It will increase the duration of all of those skills we use, because everything is popping a beneficial effect duration and they will stay alive longer. Next, we need some movement. So we go with the flooded stream. The flooded stream make our rolling surf into a permanent attack animation while we are moving. So we have a high mobility while still keeping our high damage output, and we have an AoE attack now. So not single target anymore. We have a dash zone and deal a lot of damage, especially when we have a high density of mobs, so in the Hordes mode. And in addition, we take the unyielding vision that makes the critical hits of our rolling surf damage, dealing an additional damage of 9k, which is heavy because we are just running everywhere. We deal our we spam our primary attack here, and then we have those on every crit we deal, especially if we use a lament or the roiling consequence. We have a high additional damage. And now we have our big AoE, we have a cool movement, we have primary spamming. We go with the crosswinds. This skill is perfect with those two essences. The hurricane hitch, it empowers our primary attacks with wind blades, and those blades deal additional damage. So not only us, but our sapphires as well deal an additional wave, which has a very high range. So we are just spamming now not just primary attacks with the AoE already, we are now delivering those wind blades into the very distant enemies. And with the shriekworth, the second offhand, now the critical hits of those crosswinds will create 4 additional blades. So when our crosswind hits an enemy that is far away and it crits, now from that enemy onwards there will be 4 additional wind blades damaging everyone around that enemy. So that's pretty crazy. It's like a damage machine. Okay, for the gems we have dot, we have all of our legendaries here. So let's go over to the sets. As we have the breaker as a dash, you can anytime go with the gloom. A 4-piece gloom will give you a good boost of critical hit chance and a good boost of damage. And in addition, we take the 4-piece Vithus because every skill that we are using is proccing the 4-piece bonus of Vithus. So we are permanently on the 30% additional attack speed. What you can do if you don't have Gloom yet and you don't want to farm now, you can use a Banquet of Ice as well. Because we have this high AoE damage or high AoE area that we are affecting with our Vipers. So once you use the Viper, you can go with the Banquet as well. Every enemy gets a Viper proc instantly, and that's why we have a full effectiveness of this critical hit chance of the 4-piece Banquet. Works pretty good as well. For the Hordes mode, I would suggest the Slinger Paragon tree, where you can build those stacks as we had before on the Weaver. So we go for additional crit chance, we go for additional damage, and we want to have as many stacks as possible. So we take it up to 15. That with that 5 skills here, you can get the most damage potential in my opinion, but there might be other combinations here as well that works out for you. So to summarize the build, we go with the unyielding vision for our rolling surf. We have the flooded stream for our rolling surf to make it a very good moving build with a high damage output. Then we have for the vortex the overflow chest. We have the shoal shoulder, and we have an offhand, the glory to ksathra, whatever. This all 3 boosting our vortex and reducing the cooldown time very good. Then for moving and for the shield, we have the flaring lighthouse, the pants that are very important for this build, and another damage output with the shriekworth and the hurricane hitch to improve the crosswinds and to improve our primary attack with that. 2 gems essential for this build, the torment and the viper. or whatever other dot gems you have that instantly check in. Vipers, okayish, but not as good as those. Roiling Consequence, very good, but not effective all of the time, so those two are still better. For sets, go for 4-piece Gloom or 4-piece and 4-piece Vithus. If you don't have a Gloom, you can go for Banquet as well. Okay, cool, but this build is not only working in the Trial of the Hordes, it's a very, very effective open world build as well. But for that, we need to switch two skills. So we go away from the Wind Edge and go over to the Wave Edge, the blue one. Because the essences there fit a bit better and we need a higher movement. So we change the Crosswinds with the Squall. Crosswinds, heavy damage, but for open world, even for the terror rifts or for the hidden layers, as the HP of the enemies was reduced, we don't need that much damage, and they are already dying instantly from the vortex itself. So we need a higher movement. And the Squall, without any essence for it, is a high moving skill, because it's a very long dash that brings you forward very quickly. What we do here is now we change an offhand and a main hand. We go with the Fiend Fell that gives our Wind Edge now an empowerment every 6 seconds. We deal an additional Wind Blade. It's not that cool, but it helps us a bit to improve our damage. And we go with the Sip of the Breath, which gives us an addition of 15%, again essence level 1, of movement speed and attack speed. So movement speed, okay, it's not stacking with the rolling surf, but the attack speed is good for us because we are spamming, while we are on the rolling, we spamming primaries even faster. Once we collect those sapphire orbs, the mist touched orbs that are on the ground. So with that, we have the same movement, we have the same AoE, but now we have 2 dashes, so we are very, very fast in the open world farm. Okay guys, so much for now. I hope you enjoy these builds and get your missing essences very, very soon. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me in the comments, and for all regular visitors of this channel, don't panic, Barbarian is still my main class. So, see you soon, my friends. Bye.